If you're in your 40s, I need you to pay attention to what I'm about to share with you, because this is going to change your finances. If you're in a 9 to 5, this will be very, very adequate. If you understand this, it's very easy for you to not only depend less on your salary, but you will continuously, from now till whenever, you will continuously keep getting income, and you will be doing less of the work when you understand how you can take the knowledge you currently have in your 9 to 5 and create digital products. A digital product is something you will create once and it will keep bringing you money. This thing will just keep bringing you money every month, every day, sometimes every week. When I discovered this years ago, it changed. It changed my life, that sometimes I would ask myself, how is it very easy to understand this strategy and so many don't understand this? Don't worry, let me just break this down for you to understand the different digital products. But let me just share something with you. The biggest problem with creating digital products is packaging, and I will be explaining the packaging very well. But first, let's look at some of the digital products. The first one is templates and checklists. Templates is a few pages of a document that delivers a specific result. Now, you can have daily productivity checklist, meetings, minutes, templates to help people. Now, let me show you where the killer opportunity lies in this. The big opportunity lies in this is not creating a general productivity checklist. For someone, he might have spent over 15 years in a particular industry. You might have spent over 15 years maybe in a manufacturing sector. You might spend over 15 years in the oil and gas sector. Think about this. You understand what productivity is. You understand what unproductivity is. Creating a checklist will be very, very easy. And guess what? With AI, you can create this thing, and AI will give you something you can modify. Because let me be honest with you, sometimes AI doesn't get it right. But there's how you tweak it, and AI will understand what exactly it should give you, and you can easily present this. Because let me tell you, one checklist or one productivity template can feed you for a long time. I'm talking about money coming into your account when you don't have money and when you least expect. Waking up in the morning and you see that somebody has just bought your checklist from a country you have never been to, simply because your checklist is solving a problem for them. Most people always ask this question: why should anybody buy some of these things? Why should they buy this? I'll be explaining them, but let's continue. Performance review checklist and SOP, standard operating procedure. One thing I have noticed with most SOPs out there are trash. SOPs out there are trash because they were created by people that don't understand what an SOP is, especially when it comes to implementing SOPs. Some are creating SOPs based on head knowledge, but in the implementing of the SOP, you will see there's error. And you watching this now understands this. But you know what? That information is only in your head. And most people don't understand that thing in their head is wealth. But the thing is that it has to be packaged, extracted and packaged properly. A few pages, 10, 20, 15, sold for between $20 and $100 or more. Just imagine that, or more. You know why people will buy it? Simply because it solves a problem that if they don't solve it, they tend to lose more. So, ask a question. Will somebody want to create templates for emails when he can easily get good templates that all he needs to do is to copy and paste it? Hell yeah. And we go for the easier version. People want to save time. People don't want to think. Yes, that's the problem. People don't want to think, and they are ready to pay anyone that is ready to do that. But with a product you create, that's a digital product, you create that once. Let's continue. So time blocking template, which is very good. Client intake forms. Very, very good. Data tracking spreadsheets, project timeline, recruitment scoreboard. That's for those in HR. Now, the next section will be problem solving guides. People will pay for shortcuts for problem solving guide. Let's look at some of them. How to handle a toxic boss. Yes. Especially, the funny thing is, some people have tolerated their bosses for 10 years. 10 years under a very toxic boss. And you sit down there 10 years and you don't know that God has been creating something that you can easily package and help people and say, see, I've been through this part. I want to show you the secrets to navigate and handle a toxic boss. And you break it down into steps. You break it down into strategies. You break it down into things that people can easily say, wow, I must apply this. I must implement this. Wow, this relates to me. You're actually speaking about my current situation, and I am going to apply this. And they're going to pay for it. Now, the beauty about this is that you, if well strategically positioned, you will be having an increased demand. There is nothing like addressing a situation where the market is depleting. But when a market keeps increasing every year, meaning every year people are going to be faced with toxic bosses. Every year people are going to be asking, how do you manage office politics? Conflict resolution will always be there as long as we are human beings. As long as human beings with different intentions, with different backgrounds, with different experiences come together, there will always be conflict and there will always be need for a new way to resolve them. So how have you handled conflict resolution? These are some of the digital products, and if it relates to you, I want it to get you thinking. Thinking about, see, I am currently sitting on so much wealth. You're currently sitting on so much that needs to be extracted and packaged. Let's continue. A guide to documenting your work for promotion. I like that. How to handle difficult clients playbook. That's very, very key. How to survive tight deadlines. How to become the go-to person at work. How to improve communication at the job. This is under problem solving. Now let's look at something different. The next one is industry-specific tutorials. Things like HR daily workflow guide. Well, I don't like that. I have a better way. One thing I've realized is that when you look at my other videos and some of my free trainings, what I always advise is find a gap in the market. HR management daily workflow guide might be something every other person is doing. So you will need to find a gap. I have a strategy for finding a gap in the market, especially when you see that, there are a lot of HRs. There are a lot of HRs that have different level of experiences. And I don't like competing. I believe that competition is when there is no creativity. When there is creativity, you will see that there is no need for you to compete. No, let's be very, very honest. Competition is because somebody is not being creative. So accountant monthly close check sheets. Now let me explain, let me say this properly, that all these are tutorials, but the name, the title, the label you will give whatever product you will need to create has to be different. You cannot create a very good product and say it's a HR management daily workflow guide. Honestly, I'm not going to buy. And a lot of people are not going to buy because it doesn't address the problem. So how do you create what addresses the problem? That's a different stage. I'm just giving you these different ideas because in my subsequent trainings, we will pick one of this and break it down. I'll break it down, show you how the product should be created, how the product should be created and why people will buy. Why people will just look at it and say, let me tell you, the only interaction they'll be having in their head is if I don't buy this, I cannot miss this. So how much is it? And they will start calculating between, is this going to save me more than what I'm going to pay? Because if I'm supposed to negotiate for a deal, or maybe for salary or for procurement, and you are telling me that your procurement negotiation skills, things you have learned on the job for 15 to 20 years, can help me save more. I'm going to buy it. So I don't see why anybody that has a procurement negotiation skill should sell it for less than $100, especially if you have the scripts. Think about it. I can create a digital product with scripts on procurement negotiation and help you understand how to negotiate. Is this going to save the company a lot of money? Hell yeah. It will save them a lot of money every month. Yes. And if they buy it once, how much will that save that company? So you see, this is really when you start determining why your price is important. Simply because other people with what they are providing are slapping low prices on their digital product, it doesn't mean yours should also be a $20 or a $50. It should be more. And simply because it's a digital product, you think people won't buy it because it's not a physical product. Let me tell you, what people buy is not the product. What they buy is the result the product has to deliver. That is why people buy. This is the reason people buy a thing. They don't buy it simply because you're selling. Let me continue. Sales follow-up, IT troubleshooting, now scripts and copy packs. Now this is very, very key. Email scripts, salary negotiation scripts, cold outreach scripts, delegation script, and that's very, very good. Most people suffer from delegation. Some people don't want to delegate because it makes them look weak. I don't know why. Yes, I struggle with delegation, so I'm not going to tell you that it's an easy thing to delegate. But how do you present delegation so well? I've seen people delegate and it makes them look good, and I wonder how they do it. Hello? I wish they could share their secret with me. But imagine if this was created into a digital product. How many people do you think will buy that? We're not talking about an audience of 10,000. We're talking about an audience of millions of people. Because as the managers leave, new managers are created. That's why I say customers are born every day, because as people leave or as people grow to the next level, that level has to be occupied by new people. So digital product is it's something you should invest time in creating. One product can feed you for the next 50 years. I said it. One product can provide you the resources you need for the next 50 years. You know why? Because if you follow the formula I have created or have shared in some of my episodes or some of my videos, you need to understand that one principle of growing anything is understanding how to solve one problem alone. Tell people how to get one result and make sure that the number of people that need that result is a lot of people. Do you think people will want better ways to negotiate salaries? Yes. Why? Because the number of people looking for jobs every day is increasing. One, and secondly, the number of people in jobs that want to get into new jobs are increasing. And tell me, if currently I am earning $2,000 every month and I could have earned $3,500 every month, do you think I will next time want to know what I did wrong in my negotiation? And if you can show me, and all I need to pay is a $50 or $100 for something that made me lose $1,500, yes, $2,000, $3,500, $1,500. This is $1,500 in 6 months. $1,500 is $8,000 that I lost. And all it will take me is $100. I will buy that solution. It's a no-brainer. I will buy that solution, especially if you can tell me how. If you can tell me how. I say this, that people don't buy because you're selling. You will need to create the demand. So don't worry. Later we will look at all those aspects. Customer recovery scripts, yes. Especially for customers that are dormant, customers that are no longer buying. Apology statements, apology statement templates, meeting facilitation scripts, difficult conversation scripts. Good. This one is a good one. Now let's go down to E. mini courses. How to master your first 90 days on the job. That's okay. How to manage time like a pro. Okay. Beginner's guide to project management. These are for mini courses. A mini course is a course that maybe can be finished in 7 days. A mini course can be finished in a day. It's a mini course, but the result is what matters. I see one big mistake I see so many make is they create things that have multiple results. No, multiple results creates confusion. One result that is a result people emotionally connect with is what you should invest your time in. Beginner's Guide to Project Management. I remember years ago when I was trying to do project management, I sold a solution to those that were doing project management. And people loved that solution. How to organize your entire life with Notion. Notion is a software. First time supervisor mini course. That's a brilliant one for supervisors. Brilliant one. Personal branding for professionals. Let's go down. Now, workshop and training packs. Now, if you notice something, we started from scripts, went down to, I think it was a script. No, we started from templates, went down to scripts, came down to mini courses, and we are now at workshops and training. Why am I taking this thing in this, will I say, descending order? Because when you start with scripts or when you start with templates, that's your intro offer. Then subsequent offers. Because if I can get in this month 100 people to buy my templates, from that 100, a lot of them will be interested. Let's say 20 people interested in buying my scripts. Then guess what? 3 might be interested in my mini course. 1 might be interested in doing a workshop. So the more people I bring into my funnel or into my intro product, the more people will be interested, or the less people that will be interested. So at the end of the day, my product, my templates might be $50, my script might be $100 or $200, my mini course might be $500. Can you see it? Because along the way, as the product increases in price, the number of people that come in and say, I'm interested, reduces. But what I am helping them offer, or what I'm helping provide for them, is an easier way. I make it easier. It's making it easier for them to achieve that required result. This is why people pay. And you have been sitting on this for a very, very long time. You have been sitting on this because you think that it's just knowledge. Let me just share this story with you. My first job was less than $375. I'm converting into dollars because I feel embarrassed. This was in 2007. I feel embarrassed when I share the actual figure. It was so embarrassing. Very, very low. I decided after 2 years on that job I was going to quit. I was a technology specialist. I decided after 2 years I was going to quit. The problem was that I listed 3 things I wanted to do, and none of them worked. And one day I was praying, and this idea came to my mind. It was based on the knowledge I already had. And all I did was I repackaged the product. The product is not here. I repackaged the product into a CD-ROM, because back then there were CD-ROMs. Online wasn't that, it wasn't well known at that time. Maybe big companies were the only ones providing online solutions, unlike now. So I packaged the entire program or training in a CD pack that was sold at $100. And guess what? Some days I will do my salary. The day I realized the secret to packaging and the knowledge one has, I realized that a man can be earning $1,000 a month, and the knowledge he has can bring in $10,000 a week. I mean it. You can be sitting down on a $10,000 a week knowledge And simply because you don't know how to extract it, simply because you don't know how to package it, simply you don't even know how to even identify it, you think it's well, every other person there has this knowledge, or you just see it as it's normal. But you don't understand that what is normal for you is abnormal for another person, and because it's abnormal for that other person, they are willing to pay to understand it so that they can become normal. What is normal for you is abnormal for another person. And the earlier you understand that money is actually value, and you need to exchange that value for there to be money. That's the reason why you work. But the problem is you're working for just one client, one customer, one business. But the knowledge you have gotten, the knowledge in your head can serve 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, 1,000 and more. But you're doing nothing about it. Let your eyes be open. My prayer is for your eyes to be open to see the potential you are sitting on. The next one is swap files and playbooks. Swap files and playbooks, very, very good. HR manager playbook, operation, customer retention, business organization, remote work, conflict resolution, office workflow, hiring and recruiting, process improvement, leadership micro habits. Then the next one, which is a highly perceived value, is toolkits. Toolkits, workplace success toolkits, professional development toolkits, project kickstart toolkit, stress management, meeting management, client acquisition. You take it down to the next one will be digital resources and assets, career roadmaps, interview question bank, productivity planners. These are things you create where people go that need to log in. Because if I have a place where we have over 10,000 questions and the platform is such that if you're ready for an interview, you sign up and somebody takes you through a mock interview, prepares you for an interview, makes you uncomfortable so that when you are in an uncomfortable situation, you understand how to manage yourself and you are very ready for an interview. That would be a very, very wonderful platform. So the last one, I think there should be a last one, is high value, low effort PDF. High value, low effort PDF. Now the difference between templates and PDFs is because most templates can come in PDF form. High value means that you are addressing a very big problem and it's only going to be communicated in a simple PDF. Somebody said, oh, is it just a PDF? I said just a PDF as long as it's addressing a problem people want solved. So these are all the examples. I've run through 100. These are all the examples. But the question here is, which one should you be doing? Which one has the key to your financial breakthrough? Which one has the key you should be focused on? Because you just need to focus on just one. Just one. Focus on just one. How do you know which one you should focus on? Because for now, you have so many things going on in your head. How do you focus on one? I've created an AI prompt. And that AI prompt, if you go to the comment section, you can download it and put it into ChatGPT. Copy it, fill some of the details, your industry, and maybe some of your work experience, and ChatGPT will extract the knowledge that will be in demand. All you just need to specify is ensure this is this year, and ask ChatGPT where. You can give it your location, your country, and say which of this one will be in demand in my country, or which one will be in demand globally. Because most times industries differ. Also locations differ, because something might be good in the US and it's not good in the UK. Something might be good in Europe and it's not very effective in Africa. So it's very important you understand what is obtainable in your own industry and in your location. So you can download it in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.